add us all up. We
Yo, what's happening, fan base, and welcome to another episode of the Rant Cafe, number 100. Thank you, Tekking, for helping with the intro.
That's a great intro. Episode 100, absolute extravaganza. Okay.
Absolute extravaganza. So there are only going to be 8 entries to this tournament because, well, we're going to be fighting with each other, even though there's no reason, for our arguments. We're doing our favorite nostalgic anime. So there's no right answer, but we'll all just get triggered.
There's no right answer, but there's a lot of wrong answers.
Exactly.
My bad for speaking over you right at the beginning. I wasn't prepared for you to start. I was just taken aback by the fact that Naruto versus Dragon Ball is round 1. Great.
Right, so I had to do that because I was afraid
Gotta get right to it.
I was so scared they wouldn't get to fight. Otherwise, we had to do this right in the beginning.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they probably would have taken out a bunch of other people, a bunch of other shows that you put him up against. But I mean,
if nothing else, let's just get it out of the way first.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people clicking on this that like, oh, okay, well, when's this gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here on Rock Cafe.
Well, link in the description to my Twitter. It is my latest tweet, and let's get started. The first round, as Swagkage pointed out, is Dragon Ball versus Naruto.
Well, this is going to be fun. Let me start off by saying that Nox, you forgot to mention that next week Rant Cafe will hopefully be on the Anime Report Twitch for the first time ever. So let's try that.
Cool.
Yeah, link to that in the description too, and also to the Rant Cafe channel, which may or may not be used.
Yes, so check those out because we never know with YouTube what's going to happen. So definitely follow on Twitch and on the Rant Cafe channel just in case. We're going to be experimenting. But to start this off, I will say, for me, it's Dragon Ball in terms of nostalgia, because that's what we're talking about here, right? Because I saw Dragon Ball first when they were airing it in Canada, like way after the original show. Like they were airing it for the first time in early 2000s or something. But that's what I saw first. And then that is what kind of like, I always compared everything else to Dragon Ball. So like Naruto, I compared it to Dragon Ball. So for me, nostalgia-wise, Dragon Ball has to be it, especially that Frieza, the first Frieza versus Goku fight when Goku turned Super Saiyan for the first time. I freaking lost my mind watching that. I remember like running around. I was living in a building at the time. I ran to my friend's house. He lived in the other part. I was like, what? What just happened, man?
He still does that. He hasn't changed.
Dragon Ball.
I still do it too, man.
Well, I'm going to go Naruto because for me, there's nothing like the Chunin exams. Chunin exams in Naruto.
The Chunin exams when I was in elementary school, that was crazy. Everybody was
pain.
Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was like, dude, man, Gaara versus Rock Lee, what the fuck was that?
You went to a very crazy elementary school, apparently.
Well, we didn't have potty mouths, but I mean, I remember Orochimaru versus Hiruzen was like the Super Bowl to all of my friends. Like it was.
Well, for me, at one point, I don't know why or whatever, but they played like a ton of episodes from the Forest of Death in a row, and I sat through like the whole thing, and I don't know, it was insane.
Dude, when Sasuke first used the curse mark in the Forest of Death, I lost my mind. When he beat up the Sound Ninja, I was like, what's going on, dude? Like, this show's getting out of control. And
very vivid in my memory is Sasuke versus Orochimaru in the forest.
Yeah, that one I have a really good memory. I love when he like he already awoke in the Sharingan, but he's like, I could see him, and then it's so
and
cool.
he was just blasting fire after fire.
Yeah.
Back when Sasuke was cool, right, Swag?
Sasuke's always been cool.
Yeah.
Now, as much as it sounds like I'm siding with Naruto here, I'm actually really torn about this.
I am too.
I love Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Dragon Ball, and I was like to an unhealthy extent. Is like my favorite thing ever, and like nothing else came close. And what's funny is I didn't actually learn the plot of Dragon Ball through the anime. I mean, like I saw episodes on and off on Toonami, but like I could never catch them on time, so I just got like a scattered idea of it. But the way I learned like everything that happened was through the games. Like the Tenkaichi games were my, well, aside from Sagas, but that game obviously does not count. The Tenkaichi games were my introduction to like to the greater story of Dragon Ball. I didn't know anything about the movies, so I just sort of thought that all the movies happened in between the arcs, like they were their own arcs because of the way Tenkaichi 2 told the story.
Right.
So there was I didn't actually start watching the series until later on when I could get my hands on DVDs, and then later after that when Kai started airing on Nicktoons.
Yeah,
but
Kai was a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty great thing. It was like, oh yeah, I didn't get to catch this when it was on Toonami, so now I can watch it again. But at the same time, Naruto was like a huge part of my childhood too. I actually got to watch it growing up for one, and like everything that happened, and it was so crazy. Like every single arc. Well, I guess aside from like the Sanin arc, every single arc had people talking about something. I mean, actually, even that arc, people were freaking out.
I love that arc.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but my friends weren't talking about it that much. It's
Right.
a good arc, but what I'm saying is when I was a kid, it wasn't over the top enough for me to be like, wow, this is insane. But I did think Itachi's entrance was awesome. I mean, like everybody I knew agreed too. Like it was crazy. He made Kakashi and both of the other Jonin with him look like they were fucking nothing. And it was like he wasn't even breaking a sweat when doing it.
I thought that little clash between Itachi and Jiraiya for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
that was insane.
That was awesome.
That was
dude.
like the highest level, shortest fight in the whole anime. I mean, Hiruzen versus Orochimaru.
Jiraiya just like summons the frog, but
the toad.
He didn't summon it. Yeah, he summoned them into the insides.
Yeah,
which was freaking cool. And Itachi used Amaterasu too before we ever heard of it.
I remember actually watching that, and I loved it so much. I recorded that off the television with my old shitty singular flip phone, and me and my friend Sean watched it on the school bus the next day. Like, that's how much I was into that. See, the thing with me is, I remember I actually didn't like Dragon Ball at first growing up. I didn't like Z for whatever reason. I don't know why. I eventually got into it, and then Dragon Ball as well. And I have a memory very similar to what you said, Anime Uproar, where me and my friend Ian were watching when Goku went Super Saiyan 3 for the first time. And it's literally just 20 minutes of him screaming, and that's all it is. But we're jumping around in my living room on the couch, like, go, Goku, go, kick his ass! And so that was a really good moment. But Naruto, I was like in middle school when Naruto came out. It was like in 2005, 2006. I was a little older. But I remember watching it with my friend Sean and everything, and just it got me kind of really into the whole concept of anime. Because when I was watching Dragon Ball in the 90s, I didn't care where that was animated. I wasn't thinking about animation.
Exactly.
I honestly, I just classified everything as cartoons. I'm like, if it's live action, it's live action. If it's animated, it's a cartoon. That's it. So,
same thing with me.
you don't think about that shit when you're like 7. So, but in like 2005, I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool. And I remember the Chunin exam. I remember the first stage, the test where they had to try to cheat. And I'm like, oh, I like this. This is like tactical ninja shit. And but I think overall, I'm going to go with Dragon Ball. I think I just have to owe it to it. Watching Dragon Ball Z and the original Dragon Ball growing up in the 90s, that was some good memories there.
In some ways, we're lucky that it was aired so much later. Because we were too young to watch it if it was airing when it was airing in Japan, because I think it ended in Japan in like 1992 or something. Right?
Oh yeah, well, that's how I am with like Sailor Moon. I'm like, man, it sucks that I missed that, because I didn't get to watch it. It wasn't airing when I was growing up. My aunt talks about Sailor Moon. She was like, I watched Sailor Moon when I was younger. It was pretty cool, and I'm like, what? They aired it over here that early, and they waited that long to put Dragon Ball Z on TV in the States? That's crazy. On the subject of what you were saying earlier, though, Tekking, about like getting into anime thanks to Naruto. The reason Naruto got me into anime is because I had to watch the episode subtitled, right? Like I had to get a Crunchyroll account because, like, I mean, I guess you could watch the episodes on Disney XD where they were like 3 years behind and they censored everything. But you don't want to do that. Like, and when Disney XD started airing Shippuden, Crunchyroll already had up to like the Kage Summit or whatever or something.
It took forever. I remember buying the DVDs of Part 1 Naruto. In fact, I was rewatching them just a few months back. I rewatched all of Part 1 Naruto. Still holds up in a big way.
Early Naruto is underrated at this point.
I remember waiting that, like, after the fight with Naruto and Sasuke, I knew Shippuden was coming up next. But then I didn't
And
know
it just didn't come out on TV because they had like 100 filler episodes going on
like,
Toonami.
Yeah, I think it was like 86 fillers.
85,
and I'm like,
yeah. Painful.
Can we just skip these?
I remember when I just decided, like, even as a kid, all right, I'm done with this, because I didn't know it was filler. I just figured that they were milking the series, and like when Mizuki showed up and transformed into a tiger, I was like, all right, this guy got dealt with.
That was with Fujin and Raijin, and those guys were amazing.
Yeah, the first few of them, like the one where Jiraiya, Naruto, and Sasuke go to the Land of Sound, that's okay. But then they start just getting into random, like, we're going to
like that one. I like the one with the Bikochu beetle.
I remember, yeah, that was one of the first ones too. But after a while, it just started getting like, we're going to the land of birds today. I'm like, okay. We're going. Oh no, there was one that was really good, and that was the land of stars, the star.
Yeah, I did not like that arc.
I like it. Yeah,
I'm shocked now looking back, like with Dragon Ball Z. Like I was watching it weekly. And there was so much filler because it wasn't Kai, it was Z. And I still loved it. Like now I look back, I'm like, what the fuck?
No, when I caught filler episodes, when I was watching DBZ on Toonami, I was like, this is stupid. Like it was, I don't like any filler generally. Most filler is bad, and that goes for everything. There are some exceptions.
Do you remember
Kakashi's mask episode in Naruto?
Only good fillers ever.
Yeah.
Frieza saga, they had the Garlic Jr. saga.
I could never watch that. I never saw the whole thing. I still don't know what the fuck happens in that arc.
Oh, so bad.
I'm going to summon the dead zone.
I freaking love in a bridge. They just skipped over that entire thing in like one episode.
Yeah, the whole stream crashed. I was worried that my internet went out. I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, they crashed me out too, bro. They crashed me out.
We're sorry, Garlic Jr. We didn't mean to.
You're right.
So, are we live right now?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
still live.
Okay,
that's good.
Okay, so did Dragon Ball win, or is Briggs still waiting to even say anything?
I mean, I haven't voted yet. Is it 2-2? Oh man,
I'm not sure. Well, wait. So what are the votes right now? Because I'm like,
all right. So it's me for Naruto because the Chunin exams was my childhood, and it was Tekking and Animac for Dragon Ball.
Man, it's really hard for me. I mean, like,
you're Taku.
Like I like both of them a lot. Now I'm less attached to Dragon Ball now because my job is making videos about Naruto. But I remember when it like consumed me, so it's like it's really hard for me to say. But I really, really, really did like Naruto, and I think the thing is what I remember. My memories of liking Dragon Ball the most were when Naruto was like gone, right? Like when Shippuden wasn't airing, when we were dealing with all the filler and stuff.
Yep.
But you know, like when I was able to experience everything again and start like keeping up with the anime and stuff, I was like, okay, I like this a lot. So I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like out of obligation, I should probably give my vote to Naruto, but I'm worried people will think I'm being biased when I do like Dragon Ball a lot, but I think Naruto had a bigger impact on my childhood and clearly on my life as a whole, since I wouldn't be on the podcast right now if it was never made.
Fair enough.
It's all right. I'll end this discussion by voting for Dragon Ball because I think it just took my anime virginity in so many ways. Like I was like 5 or 6 watching. It was Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon were the 3 shows that I was watching when I was young. I didn't know they were anime, of course, so I'd watch these like pretty much every week. And then Dragon Ball was actually the first anime that I actually watched knowing it was an anime. I downloaded the entire series and marathoned it. It was the first anime I ever cosplayed, and it was the first anime I ever wanted to watch in theaters as a movie. So it just fucked me hard.
Yeah, it also took my anime, but I wish Android 18 took my anime.
Oh,
what can you do?
Wow, bada chicka wow.
And here I thought you couldn't have wrong opinions on this stream. Well,
and you guys know that I am healthy
on that.
So, all right.
Next round, we have Sailor Moon versus Yu-Gi-Oh.
I didn't watch Sailor Moon, so Yu-Gi-Oh wins by default for me.
All right, so before you say anything,
I remember Sailor Moon. I never, even as a kid, it felt like girly to me. I remember I liked that intro. The English intro is like, evil by moonlight.
Yep.
Yeah, like
my girlfriend just butted in. She said Sailor Moon's great, but she thinks Yu-Gi-Oh is.
My my friend Casey is in love with Sailor Moon, and she still watches it to this day. And she showed me like this is like recent, like a few DVDs of it. I haven't watched it in years. And but I don't remember thinking of it as a girly show growing up. I watched it all the time.
I mean, it's like the Powerpuff Girls, from what I gather. Like boys watched it.
I don't give a shit. Those are awesome shows.
Yeah, but there was no villain in all of Sailor Moon that was even near Mojo Jojo tier. It's like Mojo Jojo was one of the greatest anime villains of all time.
Gotcha.
As for which Yu-Gi-Oh though, one of you asked me earlier. My bad. Sorry to interrupt.
Motorcycle Yu-Gi-Oh, of course.
But I watched the original Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I watched through GX, and I will talk about both of them in great detail after I let everybody else speak about Sailor Moon, since I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say compared to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'll just get it really quick. Yeah, I do. I mean, I have nostalgia for Sailor Moon, but I gotta go with Yu-Gi-Oh. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh kid.
Is everybody voting Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well,
I actually watched Sailor Moon like 2 weeks ago. My girlfriend and she made me watch it and check it out, and it was actually like it was pretty decent. I think I would have really liked it when I was young. But like,
I feel like
Yu-Gi-Oh
Sailor
was my
Moon
childhood.
is better written than the original Yu-Gi-Oh, or most Yu-Gi-Oh series actually, because the original Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of problems, a lot of plot holes and stuff. But,
Yes.
but man, as a kid, like what a 10 out of 10 fucking show, dude. Everything was so cool.
Yeah, when Yugi came up with that amazing strategy to attack the flotation device of the flying castle and land and destroy all the guys.
I'll destroy your flotation ring, causing your castle to crush all of your monsters and somehow deplete your life points to 0.
Let's not.
Stabs the moon, and the moon falls on the enemy monsters.
Yeah, but there were some actual really hype moments in Yu-Gi-Oh that weren't stupid, like when he brain controlled Revival Jam to make Merrick
was
out.
crazy hype.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Almost committed suicide, and Yugi had to like. Yeah,
It's so stupid.
yeah. Or he did the infinite reproduction of Karibo. Just like
He was like, okay, so I'm gonna use multiply on Karibo, and even though we only have 5 monster zones, I have a million
Infinite Karibos.
And
Oh my god! Wasn't there that one guy who used Call of the Hunted to constantly revive all of his monsters?
yeah, the cards were completely different, and so he also used polymerization to fuse Mammoth Graveyard with Blue Eyes and cause it to deteriorate. And
Yeah,
decay.
that's right. He did that.
yeah,
You can't use polymerization on your opponent's monsters. First off,
I remember how I loved that there was a card game that you could play with the show, but it was totally different. The rules were just so
well, the card game started to line up with the show by the time Battle City started, and let's talk about Battle City and how fucking awesome it was, man.
Battle
'Cause what a
City was
great-
insane.
I wanted that to be real. I seriously wanted like.
Dude, I wanted to be like, Mom, can I go out and get a fucking dual disc and go get some locator cards? And
Okay, fine. Did you have a dual disc? I lost my original one. I wish I still had it. 'cause
For
those
me,
things are expensive
in
now.
that arc, I remember Yugi versus Kaiba so well.
Oh
like
my
in
God,
the
the
semifinals,
Coliseum.
that
Yeah.
was insane.
I think my favorite duel in the series is Yugi versus Strings because, like, I was like, how is he
Yugi
going
versus
to
who?
win against Slifer? And then he just uses brain control on Revival Jam.
Okay,
and
but to
then-
be fair,
and
that
it's
didn't
like,
make
wow.
sense at all. Like
What?
I mean, Slifer doesn't attack every opponent's monster.
No, he automatically.
It
No, he
automatically
Automatically
destroys.
lowers the attack
He
of a
automatically-
monster special summons. If it's normal or special summons, he'll lower its attack by 2,000, and if its attack reaches 0 because of that, it's destroyed.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's not an attack. So like Revival Jam wouldn't, and Revival Jam also, its effect summons it the next
works
standby
different.
phase.
And you also have to pay
In
life
real game
for it
and in
too. Yeah,
anime.
it's a real. Yeah.
But the reason for that is because they knew if it were used the way it worked.
Yeah,
in
it would
anime,
kill everyone.
Yeah, with Card of Safe Return, it would be a little bit unfair. But Card of Safe Return is banned now, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, the way it worked in the anime, it was pretty nice how Yugi managed to be like, okay, I don't have to target Slifer with this brain control, but I sure can take your Revival Jam. I actually don't think that's how it would have worked though, because Revival Jam being like possession of a card changing doesn't that has nothing to do with summoning
It's not summoning.
Yeah, so whatever. It was shaky, but it was cool.
The point is, it was freaking awesome.
Yugi versus Joey versus evil Joey, man.
Sailor Moon, like I expected. I thought some of the villains in Sailor Moon were a lot darker than like regular cartoons, so I thought that was interesting.
Dude,
but overall,
Bakura in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of my favorite villains.
Bakura, dude, all right, yeah.
I just video about him and the Destiny board shit. He was so fucking cool.
Okay, so let's talk about his duel with Yugi in Battle City on top of the blimp, where it looks like he's throwing the game at first, right? Where he's just like summoning all these weak ass monsters, and then he gets 3 fiends in his graveyard, and he's like, "All right, bitch," and then he summons Dark Necro, and he's just like, "Okay, so I have this crazy powerful field spell, and also you're gonna lose in 5 turns, and you can't attack me without losing half your monster's attack points as life points every time." So
and there's
honestly, Bakura's duel with Marek right after that was pretty sick too.
Yeah, Bakura keeps getting cheesed. He lost to Egyptian god cards. That's it. He outplayed everybody, and he just lost to the 3.
Even the way he got the locator cards to get on the blimp, like he dueled like 5 guys at the same time.
He only dueled Bones, but I love that episode. That is like one of my absolute all-time favorite episodes, where it's either they're in the spooky graveyard and they're trying to scare Bakura, and he's just like, winner take all. Give me all your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Then afterwards, he straight up sends them to fucking hell. Just also, hell.
Completely unrelated. One of my friends, or some of my friends, tried to convince me that Crollo was edgier than Bakura, and I was like, no, that's factually incorrect. Bakura is an edgelord, and everybody loves him for it. Like he fucking like you just said, he fucking like sends everybody in Bandit Keith's gang to hell just because he can, dude. On the subject of Marek, though, I know everybody likes Marek. But Marek can fucking suck a fat dick, dude. Mai outplayed him. Joey outplayed him. Yugi outplayed him. He didn't actually win once, and he just kept getting wins.
How does Joey win his duels? Odeon gets struck by lightning.
I am still, to this day, pissed the fuck off when I watched that episode when he was dueling Marek, and he's like, all you have to do is summon Gearfried, and he does, and all you have to do is attack, and he's like, and then he passes out, and the hologram just disappears. I'm like, no, he said attack. Joey wins. Bullshit.
Joey did win. He declared an attack. I guess it's like new fucking time rules in actual Yu-Gi-Oh, where when you run out of time in a game, they're like, all right, finish your current phase, then the game ends immediately. Whoever has more life points fucking wins.
I think we got to stay on here, because we can all agree that Yu-Gi-Oh is moving on. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I do want to talk about it more.
I don't know how you guys remember.
We'll talk more about Yu-Gi-Oh when we compare it to Dragon Ball, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good.
I have 5 cards of Exodia. Do you have the 5 cards of Exodia?
Actually, yes, and I have a really annoying deck to go along with it. But
shit.
Anyway, next round we have YuYu Hakusho, recommended by Tekking, versus Beyblade, recommended by Swag Kage.
I haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho. Or I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I've watched like half of it now, but I didn't watch it when I was younger. So Beyblade has to win by default, and that makes me feel like a piece of shit saying Beyblade wins over Yu Yu Hakusho.
This was the anime that took my. This was the one that took my anime virginity. This is the one I remember watching. There was actually, I remember there were 2 versions of this running at the same time. There was a version on Toonami, which had to obviously cut out all the cursing and everything. Yeah. And then if I could stay up later that night on Adult Swim, there was an uncensored version where Yusuke would be like, "Son of a bitch!" And I'm like, "Oh wow, he's swearing. This is so adult now."
Yeah, I remember that.
My favorite arc is the Chapter Black Saga, and I just love that, like how it starts off with they're going through that house and they have to do all these weird things in order to get through it, and then the 7 people they have to fight. It's such a good series.
And he fights the dude that's a trapper. What?
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yusuke, like in midair, he gropes someone to make sure it's a woman or something.
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Right there in that arc, right before it started.
Did he? I don't remember.
He did. That was hilarious.
Let me just say that I have to basically say the same thing as Swag. I didn't even hear of Yu Yu Hakusho until I became a full-fledged anime fan.
Yeah.
Beyblade, I watched as a kid, right? I played Beyblade as a kid.
I never played it. Wait, this is my. Am I the oldest one out of everybody here? Because I remember watching this when I was like, this was a big.
Beyblade came right after like Digimon. Like Beyblade is not.
Yeah, because Beyblade's not that old, but yeah, I remember just watching Yu Yu Hakusho in the '90s. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
so
only
hard for
20.
me to
I'm
vote
a
here.
baby. I think I'm the youngest one here.
No,
25.
The thing is that I just didn't differentiate back then between anime or so yeah, like Beyblade, Pokemon, Dragon Ball. I was just like, this is cartoons. It was only after I learned what anime was that I was like, oh yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, that's a thing. But I didn't watch it back in the day.
Yeah, the same thing happened with me. Like, it's so hard for me to vote for Beyblade because like Yu Yu Hakusho is like 10 times better, and like it holds a special place in my heart now that I've watched it. I watched it like 2 years ago. While Beyblade, like I used to play Beyblades. Like I went to the extent of like manufacturing like my own. Like I would add more weights with like longer screws, and I would fuck people up.
Yeah, I did
any
that.
of you guys? Did any of you play the Beyblade video game for GameCube?
Nope.
There's this really shitty Beyblade game where you just control the Beyblades while they were spinning, and they had this guy doing commentary over it like it was like a fucking sports tournament. And when I was a kid, I thought that shit was so hype. But I mean, I played it like a couple years ago out of curiosity, and man, it sucks. But
I've never played anything Beyblade related. But remember Duel Masters? I remember Duel Masters.
I remember Duel Masters, but I didn't like Duel Masters.
Well, we have to remember though, guys. We have to remember that this is nostalgia. We're not talking about quality here. That's why.
Yeah.
So
I
have
nostalgia-wise, I have very little experience with either of them. I never watched Beyblade. I played it because I found it fun to spin the thingo, but like I never really got into either of them.
Yeah, I never played it. Yeah,
dude, I remember I like drew my own little shitty beast icon for my Beyblade and like put it in, and I was like, yeah, dude, this guy's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Beyblade's so stupid.
I thought it was the coolest show too. Like I thought they were just so cool.
Like, it was made specifically, like it was made solely to sell toys, not with like any sort of creative integrity. But as a kid, you don't care. You're just like, oh man, this is fucking awesome.
Like I gotta go and buy Dragoon.
Yeah. Were there just you could buy, or were there cards too?
There were no cards.
They were just
it's Bakugan.
You're thinking
of combined toys with cards.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Bakugan
I never played either.
Pretty hype, but
as a kid, I've seen a few episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho, a few episodes of Beyblade, and Yu Yu Hakusho's was way better. So I'll go with that.
Also, Hiei.
God bless you.
So who's the next? Like, what did we all vote?
Okay, I'm voting for you.
Voted for Beyblade, except for Nux and Tekking. So we got 3 Beyblade, 2 Yu Yu Hakusho.
Beyblade, what? What the? No.
Sorry,
it's not about quality. Move on, Nux.
Who's the main character of Beyblade?
It's Beyblade-san.
It's Beyblade from Beyblade.
Sorry,
his name is Tyson. His name is Tyson.
Sorry, you.
His rival is Kai.
I remember Kai, and Dragoon, of course.
Yes.
Okay, now next one is tough, man. Next one is tough.
Nope, it's not. Pokemon shits on Digimon. Fuck off.
I was gonna say the same exact thing, except for Digimon. I love Digimon.
How many hundreds of hours have you put into your Digimon games, Nux?
Yeah, well, this is nostalgia for the anime.
I know, and I played the games because I like the fucking anime. Like
I love the Pokemon games. Huge fan. I've never played any Digimon games. However, I love the Digimon anime.
Well, you didn't walk around with a Digivice when you were young, trying to get those steps to hatch those eggs?
No, I didn't.
Part of the reason I liked Dragon Ball and Naruto as much as I did is because of all the games I had to play related to them growing up. Like they kept them fresh in my mind. So I don't think you can completely ignore games related to a certain medium here.
Fair
but
enough.
I think Pokemon is a special case because the games and the anime are very loosely related.
They are, yes.
So the thing is, for me, out of everything on this list, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game a lot, and I've played the Pokemon video games a lot. And that's it. Everything else for me is anime only.
For me, Pokemon was the first anime that I was, again, didn't think of it as anime, that I was like obsessed with. And I was like, I want to live in this world. This is fucking amazing. And then for Digimon, like I was exposed to Digimon after Pokemon. So then to me, Digimon will always be, the second thing. So
I never
got
really watched the Digimon show. I just watched
I didn't
like
watch
two
it
of the
much
movies.
either.
The movies,
So
The movies are terrible.
I thought the movies were good, but I used to watch those
In
when I was like
comparison
6.
to the show,
I don't know.
Dude, the Pokemon movies
I didn't watch the show.
are awesome. The
Yeah,
Dark
I used to
Knight
watch those when I was like
movie,
6 or
dude.
7.
Lord Brigo, when we start Weeb 10, we are watching Digimon.
I actually thought that a lot of the Pokemon movies were really good, but
I did.
yeah,
too.
I go with Pokemon,
Yeah,
man.
the Pokemon movies are better than the Digimon movies, but the Digimon show is not a comparison to Pokemon.
I think I started watching Digimon first. I don't think I had the channel for Pokemon or something. I just don't remember watching that one at the same time. I think I played one game on the PlayStation, if I remember, for Digimon, but it was really shitty. I think I booted it up and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, this is stupid, and I stopped playing it.
Which Digimon movie did you guys? I'm sure you all saw Digimon the movie. Everyone saw that with Omnimon.
Yeah, Digimon the movie, though, I think it's like 3 different movies they like smashed together into one or something.
3 OVAs that they made a movie.
Yeah, and they tried to tie them together in this really stupid way. But I remember watching it, not caring about the plot. I was just like, Digimon, it's cool. And Digimon.
Every time I was sick in elementary school, I would watch Digimon. I had that one movie on VHS. I had the 3 OVAs, and I would watch it every time I got sick. I thought it was dope, but at the same time, I was 6 years old.
So good.
I don't really remember it.
It is not comparable to the Digimon show.
How many seasons of Digimon did you watch? Because I watched all the way up to the 4th one. That was Frontier.
The first 6 seasons. I saw Adventure 1, Adventure 2, Tamers, Frontier, Data Squad, and Cross Wars.
Man,
I never saw Cross Wars.
Talking about nostalgia, what's more nostalgic than fucking Ash and Pikachu, man?
Right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, Tai and Agumon.
I don't know about that. Pokemon had such a large impact, like the anime. I mean, that they even gave Pikachu his like anime voice in Smash Brothers and even in the new games.
I'll tell you what. For purely nostalgia, I'm going Digimon because there was a because this isn't the only reason, but there's a character in the Japanese Yamato, and they changed it in the English to Matt, and that really. And where Garurumon is such a cool Pokemon, Digimon shit. But I'm going Digimon for that.
Man, it's hard for me to vote against Pokemon, though, at the end of the day. Like, this had such an impact on my life at this point. Like, I used to wake up every day at 8 a.m. and watch, like, before school and watch Pokemon. I played the cards.
Yeah, it's hard for me to separate all the stuff.
Hours.
It's hard for me to separate the Wait, go on ahead. My bad.
Just remember, Digimon are the champions. There you go.
Digimon got champions.
Yeah, Pokemon Master of the year, bro.
It's hard for me to separate the card game and the games from the TV show, because I mean, like, I have such fond memories of all of the Pokemon games, and I tried to play Sun and Moon. I didn't really like them. So I'm sure they're fine. I just couldn't get into them. So maybe I guess that just speaks even more strongly about the nostalgia I have for it, because I love everything from well, maybe not so much Gen 1 anymore. I was sort of like, okay, Gen 1 sucks. They have like, but okay. I won't get too off topic. What I'm saying is I have really good memories of replaying Leaf Green, Crystal, and
Emerald, man. I replayed Emerald so many times.
Yeah, also, for me, it's Fire Red, Emerald, and I guess Diamond.
My first one was Gold. Was my first game, and I played that so much.
Look, Fire Red and Leaf Green, like 2 of the best games ever made. All right, like, because everybody likes Kanto for a reason. I think it's just a really well-designed region. There's a lot of like iconic stuff spread throughout it, and the reason people don't like Gen 1,
the lore is amazing.
Yeah, and the reason people don't like Gen 1 is because it's more broken than the other games. But Gen 3 is perfectly fine, and so I think Fire Red and Leaf Green are 2 of the strongest entries in the series. And they're just so much fucking fun.
Is Kanto also the starting region in the anime?
Yeah,
that's where probably why everyone loved it, because then you can start off with Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur.
So, guys, who's all voting for Pokemon? I voted Pokemon.
I voted Pokemon. I couldn't vote for Digimon. I'd feel awful. Digimon. I can't do it.
Yeah, Digimon to me is just an afterthought to Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Once again, I think I'm in this weird camp where I actually saw Digimon first because I seem to be remembering that being the case. Yeah, I actually tried to watch it recently, and it was really hard because they add all those like Digalicious and all those like stupid puns in there. I'm like, oh god.
I watched Tamers. Did any of you watch Digimon Tamers?
Yes, I watched Tamers and Frontier. Yeah,
wasn't Tamers like one of the greatest anime ever?
I love the card concept. Yeah, and Frontier where they turn into the Digimon. I love that too.
Okay, so Tekking and Nox are for Digimon. Me and Swag are for Pokemon. Briggs, you're deciding this.
I already voted.
Yeah, he's Pokemon.
I enjoy having the power. It's okay.
Nox, what about you?
Pokemon?
Yeah, I voted Pokemon.
Okay, so Pokemon advances. Wow, pretty much everything I wanted to advanced this time. First time ever.
Until Dragon Ball loses and you get cheesed.
Yeah.
See, I'm wondering if that's going to happen. So let's just move on to this, once in a lifetime pay-per-view match between Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball.
Can we do Pokemon versus Beyblade first? So Pokemon versus Beyblade. I vote Pokemon because I love Pokemon.
We're doing Pokemon versus Beyblade. Yeah, Pokemon shits on Beyblade.
Yeah, I will vote Pokemon as well.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, so believe it or not, Pokemon advances to the finals, barely defeating
What a
Beyblade.
surprise! What a surprise! Pokemon, when competing with Beyblade, Yu Hakusho, and Digimon in a nostalgia tournament, makes it to the final round.
Who would have thought?
I want to make an opening argument here for Dragon Ball versus Yu-Gi-Oh. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yu-Gi-Oh has Kuribo. Dragon Ball has Krillin. Okay, so
I'm Team Karibo.
Dude, Kuribo is the man.
It's so weird that they always shit on Kuribo in the anime. They always called him like he's the weakest duel monster. I'm like, dude, his effect is fucking awesome. You know, he's very useful.
First hand trap ever printed, dude. Also,
he's a very
you
useful
that time where he made a big fat rainbow bridge so Gaia the Fierce Knight could run across it and attack the fish guy directly.
Damn.
Because Yugi accidentally picked Kuribo as his deck master. Like,
to be honest, that was one of my favorite filler arcs ever.
I loved it.
How about the time
Noah got his fucking shit kicked in?
How about the time Kuribo defeated Pegasus? Because he basically did. Because Kuribo was the one that crippled Thousand Eyes Restrict. Yeah, Magician of Black Hair delivered the final blow, but it was Kuribo that brought the work.
So I think everybody can agree we talked about Dragon Ball pretty extensively. I still have a bit more to say, but we didn't talk about Yu-Gi-Oh as much, right?
Yeah, not enough.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about GX too much, but because I know not too many people have a huge attachment to GX, but I loved it when I was growing up. Okay, GX is great. All right. Then I think you will agree with me when I say that Zane or Rio versus Dark Jesse or Johan is one of the best.
That is one of the greatest fights ever.
I know, dude. Okay, so when he fucking summons Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, right? And he's like, when
he doubles its attack and then doubles it again.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's at the end of the duel when he just flexes. Yeah. But I'm talking about when he summons the monster that can attack multiple times, and he's like, "All right, so this monster can attack you equal to the number of monsters used for its fusion summon." And when he attacks your Rainbow Dark Dragon, damage calculation isn't going to occur at all. You're just going to lose 400 life points. He can attack you 5 times and you have 1,900 life points. And I was like, yo! And he just goes one by one. And Jesse's life points start going down. And you're like, fuck, this is crazy. And then Jesse survives at the end because he has this stupid trap card and his dumb Dark Crystal Beast deck is overpowered. But
that is something that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh! They invent like spell or trap cards just for the sake of like one moment. Like,
and GX is cool because they don't just invent like spell or traps. They invent like whole deck styles.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, all of the bad hero cards that Jaden used, like Hero Barrier, negate an attack directed at an elemental hero. Like just
the worst card ever.
No, but really, okay. I think as a kid and even partially still now, I think I enjoyed Jesse versus Zane more than I enjoyed anything in Dragon Ball. Because, God, it was so fucking exciting, man.
Dude, I'm actually with you on that. But my favorite character in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and I know people think it's crazy, is Chaz Prince.
Dude, Chaz is awesome.
I'm so glad you said that because Chaz is the actual anime representation of my channel. where the fan base is the Ojamas.
Oh my god.
No offense, fan base. It's a compliment.
No, the Ojamas are great, dude. I love them.
Oh my
Chaz
god.
it up.
Chaz it up.
Slifer, Slacker.
Yo, dude. In the beginning, he was like the biggest edgelord, whatever. And he gets
dude, he went from
he
using
goes to
the deck-
North Academy. He beats everyone there. He goes back and loses to Jaden again. And then his personality completely changes when he has to use this deck of like total loser monsters against his brother who's some rich
dude.
Yep.
He goes from using an archetype called Chthonian, which is like
Which is
fucking
garbage.
hell demons, to use
Yeah.
Ojamas. And
fucking
he's so good with them too.
I know.
I remember I tried to make an Ojama deck because of that.
I
I
too,
had
too.
a sick Ojama.
Man,
Dude.
as much as I love Chaz, I love Zane or Rio too much. Like, okay, so like, you thought Jaden had plot armor when you first watched the show, right? Because he beat everybody. He even beat fucking Crowler. And man, the way he beat Crowler was great.
Yep.
I want to
It
talk
was
about
great.
that by
Oh, it
itself,
was
like
amazing.
on its own. But first, when fucking Zane just whipped Jaden's ass, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He can't just do that.
Dude,
Did he just
when-
summon a fucking monster with 8,000 attack that does piercing damage? Are you
Before
kidding
piercing
me?
was even a word?
Yeah.
Goddamn. But I need to bring
Every
something.
time he would summon him, he's like, when my attack monster has more attack than your monster's defense points, the difference is inflicted to you as damage. And it's like,
We're talking about Zane. I need to bring something up, and it's one of my favorite duels. It's Zane versus Atticus or Fubuki. Okay. Yeah, the dark.
Yeah,
the
Dark Shroud, the guy who was
That was
voiced
so
by
great, too.
Jason Griffith.
Yeah. The Cyber Dark deck. It's not
Cyber
really a
Dark was
great.
amazing.
It's not really a
sucks. Cyber
Yeah, it's
Dark
not
is
a-
awful.
but it
Oh,
looks
the
cool.
archetype sucks,
Yep.
but when he used it,
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the battle of the edgelords there, because Atticus gets taken over by darkness, and it's just like, oh my god.
So
Oh, man.
sounds like you guys have a lot of nostalgia with Yu-Gi-Oh. I think
Love it.
for me, it's a very difficult thing because for Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is the best anime-related game out of anything that I've ever played in terms
Yeah.
of like Pokemon cards, Beyblades, whatever. The Yu-Gi-Oh card game, like itself, is a huge nostalgia for me. Yeah, I know it's rough. Like,
It's so hard for me, bro.
can I
Did
just
you-
say that I so appreciate the fact that we talked about GX because I've never
I know.
actually spoken to anyone about GX before.
Honestly, I didn't even
That's
like it
why I
that
want
much.
to keep talking
And
about it.
Alexis.
The bracket
And
may go
Alexis
on
was
for a
awesome.
bit.
I don't know. Goku's there.
And shout out for 5Ds. The first arc in 5Ds. was
Okay,
great, too.
5Ds is the most well written of all
Don't
of
call
the
it 5Ds.
series.
Call it Motorcycle Yu-Gi-Oh.
Motorcycle
It-
Yu-Gi-Oh was my
5Ds
the first
goes
arc.
hard. It's a
Signer
really
arc.
good show.
The
Yeah,
Signer
that's-
arc was really great.
I'm gonna reluctantly vote for Dragon Ball here. I'm leaving.
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, I love Dragon Ball, right? And it was like it consumed me, but I really fucking liked Yu-Gi-Oh! And there were so many things that happened in the shows that just made like it just made my mind explode when I was little, man. Like
Yeah. No, to me, like what stands out the most is like Goku's transformation, Cell, Gohan, Super Saiyan 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what stands out to me the most from childhood. However, obviously Yu-Gi-Oh is a huge one too. So I'm like on the fence, but I'll swing it a little bit to Dragon Ball because I feel like you guys are all gonna vote for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Honestly, I'm on
I
the fence
might
too, man.
vote for
Like,
I might vote for Dragon Ball. I'm not sure, but I still stand by Dark Jesse versus Zane being a better fight than any fight in Dragon Ball. Because man, what a fucking legendary duel. And Jaden versus Crowler too at the beginning of GX was great. When he
Yeah.
fucking used Wingman to destroy Ancient Gear Golem and did 3,000
3,000
effect
damage.
damage.
Dude, what was that duel that Chaz won? The opponent against the Dark Scorpion guys when the guy had like
Yeah.
300 life points left.
Yeah.
And he fuses his Ojamas and uses his crazy
Oh.
things to give this massive monster 300 attack and then just like
Okay. Hype duels. Yugi versus Yami at the end of Duel.
oh my god, that was amazing.
I stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh for a while before that, but I came
Yeah.
back just to watch that finale, and I was not disappointed. I didn't
Dude,
watch much of the Millennium World arc until later, but that duel I had to see as it
when fucking Yami summoned all three of the Egyptian gods, I was like, Yugi's fucks.
too.
except Marshmallow cannot be destroyed by battle. Hell yeah, Marshmallow. Show them who's boss.
I
It was
still
actually,
keep
like,
Marshmallow in my deck to this day. He's still in there. I keep him in there all the time. Whatever deck I make, Marshmallow's going in.
That's funny. Marshmallon's definitely been power crept out of the game now. I still play Yu-Gi-Oh at like locals and stuff, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't too competitive, but it's still
no, I understand. All of the cards that were in the anime are iconic, and it's really cool to like own them in person. That's another reason why it's hard for me not to say Yu-Gi-Oh, because like, man, how great did it feel when you like got an Egyptian god card for yourself and you just
It was
smacked it
great,
down on
except
one of
for
your
Ra.
friends?
When I read Ra and realized that its effect didn't include gaining attack points, and it was the worst card in the game,
Yeah,
it was very disappointing.
I really like getting like holographic, Pokemon cards too.
Oh yeah, I have a few of mine somewhere. I got a Steelix and a Chansey that are holographic somewhere.
What was that app called that came out like somewhat recently that's Yu-Gi-Oh related?
Duel Links.
Duel Links. Yeah.
All I know is I threw a Duel Links tournament with my subscribers and slapped everybody. I was supposed to give a gift card to the winner, and I gave it to the second place person that like just like I felt bad. I'm like, I won my own tournament.
Of course you did. You knew it. You knew it was gonna happen. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I actually called it before then.
like no one watched Trigon. Yes, I've watched Trigon. Trigon was dope.
Yeah,
but
But I watched Trigun later. It's not a nostalgia.
Same.
I know. Although it is old, but yeah, for me, I watched it later.
I think I watched Yu-Gi-Oh more when I was really young.
Yeah, I agree. Yu-Gi-Oh was one of those things that I watched when I was like really little, and I think it had more of an effect on me like before I was like 11 or 12 than it did afterwards. But like, but like so like pre-teen me liked Yu-Gi-Oh more, I think. Post-teen me liked Dragon Ball more. So it's really hard for me to decide which one I think is more important.
Do you have a favorite card?
Favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Mine's
Well, just based solely on like anime cards, it's Flame Wingman. Like, he's
damn
the
straight.
best.
That's awesome.
No, for me, it's Light and Darkness Dragon's my favorite card.
That one's cool.
Relinquished, bro. Relinquished.
Relinquished is
awesome.
sick.
Nox.
Yeah.
Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning is also great.
Do you remember Capsule Monsters?
You know what? Just because of Capsule Monsters, I may have to give it to Dragon Ball.
No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Nox.
Dragon Ball also had GT, but I didn't mind GT much when I was a kid. So
Yeah, I did. I don't remember liking it too
Capsule
much.
Monsters is worse than GT. Also, but even I probably shouldn't have, but even when I was a kid, I actually got the original Dragon Ball manga and read it all, and I definitely shouldn't have. It was super raunchy and adult, but I mean, well, I guess Viz did a good job handling it for kids and teens to be able to read it. But I still don't think I should have read it when I was like 11. But no, it was great, and it's what got me into manga. After I read Dragon Ball, I was like, I think I like manga more than I like anime, because I tried to watch the Dragon Ball anime, and I was like,
That made me flash back to when I was like 11 or 12. There was in Shonen Jump, back when you could actually buy Shonen Jump in like Walmart or whatever. There was the Yu-Gi-Oh GX manga, and it had like Alexis, but her boobs were like super pronounced, and I'm like, whoa.
yeah, that was
supposed to be
Believe it or not, I read like the whole GX manga.
Oh, it's good. It's a good version. What kind of deck do you use, Swag?
I've been playing a bunch of different decks recently. I actually Cyber Dragon recently got support, and I tried it out, and it's a lot of fun. But this year I have played Invoked Mech Knight. I've played Burning Abyss.
I haven't even heard of that. Burning Abyss I've heard of.
Burning Abyss. Yeah, it's all based on Dante's Inferno, and that's why I love it. I've tried that. I use Six Samurai because
Six Samurai is pretty cool, and I also I just picked up Pendulum Magicians again, which I really enjoy. But
Pendulum's scary.
Pendulums are pretty cool. The dumbest pendulum deck ever was Pendulum Performapals, and in second place it was Cleaforts. I don't know if any of you ever played.
Yes, I'm aware of both
during
of them.
Clee format, but fucking Apocalyphort Towers. This card is unaffected by any card effects. Yeah.
Is Cleaforts the one with that giant tablet thingy? I thought that looked cool.
No, Cleaforts look awesome, but when they're
all like these massive mechs.
Absolute, it's got 3,000 attack. Is unaffected by all card effects and the activated effects of monsters that are lower than level 10. And it causes all special summon monsters to lose 500 attack. And once per turn, it can destroy a card in either your opponent's hand or field. It's like,
okay,
what the fuck? Why would you?
That's something about new Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't get why every single card needs to have 12 effects. It's like you have this stupid like level
It's
4
power
thing,
creep.
and it's like flip, draw one.
the other-
card. When this
I mean,
gets
Dragon
destroyed,
Ball has the
select
same
monster
problem.
zone and it can't be yours.
Goku could barely blow up a fucking wall at the beginning of Dragon Ball, and at the end, he's destroying universes.
He's God amongst gods.
By the way,
Well, in
someone
any
in
case-
chat said that they like Evangelion the most. Like, if you watch that as a kid, I feel bad. for you.
Nostalgia for Evangelion. Oh my god.
If you were like 10 years old watching Evangelion, good luck, man.
You have nostalgia for Seinfeld as a child?
That said, I vote for Yu-Gi-Oh. Nostalgia.
It's hard for me.
I completely vote for Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid. I had a Yu-Gi-Oh birthday cake, for fuck's sake. Never had a Dragon Ball birthday cake. It has to be Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Truth be told, I would vote for Yu-Gi-Oh! The original season. I would vote for GX, and I would vote for 5Ds each individually over Dragon Ball.
I didn't see 5Ds
haven't-
until later, but yeah, it's still really good.
We haven't even talked about 5Ds. So let's briefly
I
cover
know.
it. The sign arc was really good. Remember when
Yeah.
Yusei beat the fucking security guard with a deck
that
made
was-
of 40 random cards just
Oh,
given
that was
to him?
so great. He had no monsters. He won without attacking that duel.
No, he had monsters in his deck.
Yeah, but he didn't attack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're all like these level 4 guys with like 2,000 defense. My
Yeah,
favorite
well,
duel in that arc, I think, is when Yusei lost to Colin.
Oh yeah. Dude, the fucking Earthbound Immortal cards were just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just a Yu-Gi-Oh stream at this point, and I don't care.
Briggs left.
Briggs will return. Never fear. This
Okay.
happens sometimes.
I really like Dragon Ball, but yeah, when I mean, I think now I like Dragon Ball more, but when I was a kid, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. I was fucking obsessed with it, man. So I'll have to go with Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, fucking Yugi versus Evil Joey too. Here, let's just keep fanboying
Yes.
about Yu-Gi-Oh until Briggs gets back.
We
Yeah,
can
well-
go because I'm gonna have to end up going because I have to do something later. So I don't want to like.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go ahead and.
Well,
get on to
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yugi
won.
versus
Look at
Pokemon.
that. 3,
Yeah,
1 or
Yu-Gi-Oh!
2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Briggs, did you vote for Yu-Gi-Oh?
Briggs has returned.
Whoa, I vote for Dragon Ball.
Oh,
All right, 3-2. You lose, Briggo. I invited the right guest.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's a great matchup. Even though
Yeah.
I heavily lean towards Dragon Ball, I can't be mad at Yu-Gi-Oh.
I think Dragon Ball is what got me into anime, like, and into like doing YouTube and everything like that. So I'd have to
Yeah.
give it to that. Even though like I watched both when I was young, and I was probably a little bit more into Yu-Gi-Oh when I was really young. I think Dragon Ball is what sparked my anime passion. So
Well,
I'll
see,
give it to
that's,
Dragon Ball.
that's why I had to give it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because when I was really young, I liked Yu-Gi-Oh! More than I think I've ever liked anything in my life.
That's the same thing.
Fair enough.
Same thing with me.
All
Like,
that
Yu-Gi-Oh!
being
won?
said, though, at the
Yeah.
end of the day,
I did
Yu-Gi-Oh!
not see
most
this coming.
thing is
Yu-Gi-Oh beat
Pokemon.
Naruto and Dragon Ball.
Right?
Whoa.
The most nostalgic thing to me though is Pokemon, so I have to vote for Pokemon in the finals because, like I said, it was the first time that I was like, I want to live in this world. I want to my career to be a Pokemon master. Like I was so into it. So yeah, Pokemon has to be.
Well, on a related note, I wanted my career to be a professional duelist really
Indeed.
bad.
Well, that's what
Indeed.
happened though. Like they
Okay,
have
here's what we're gonna
duels and
swag. When we get like, we're all gonna get like obviously like 50 million subscribers on YouTube, like all of us.
Oh, of course.
But of course.
We need to pool our vast fortunes, and we need to make a Battle City tournament like actually happen.
Absolutely. I feel like
I'm-
Konami could do that with Duel Links if they wanted.
Not even that. No, I want this to be legit. I think by then we should
holograms.
have. I'm playing the long game here. Like 30 years from now, we can have that technology
Yeah,
or
we can
something.
do it, man. We can do it.
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
Locator
totally.
cards,
Well, the
This is
whole
week
thing-
10, bitch.
Make
Who
sure
the
at
hell are
least
flipping
someone
you?
is possessed by a 3,000-year-old evil spirit that's trying to kill everyone.
See,
Well,
here's the
section-
thing. If I had to pick between whether I would rather be a Pokemon master or be a duelist, I mean, when I was a kid, if you had asked me, it definitely would have been a duelist. But now I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to get into shadow games, and I'm definitely going to if I'm worth fucking anything. Because
Yeah.
all of the good duelists end up dueling some fucking weird Egyptian mad
But
person.
in the Pokemon universe, you
GX.
get like eaten by a dragon or something.
The villains in GX made no sense. Oh my god, you remember the Society of Light?
Dude, the society of like
Sartorius.
yeah, dude. So my deck is I flip coins, but I have a thing that
But
makes
he
it so I
always
don't
gets
have to flip
heads.
coins. Yeah, but I don't have to flip coins because I have a thing, so it's
Right.
good.
Time Sartorius beat that guy in 0 turns.
Yeah, that happened.
Wait, in
That was
0 or in 1 turn?
He didn't even have a turn. In his
Oh,
opponent
he FTK'd him? Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, literally like the guy went, and I think Sartorius had a bunch of shit cards in like his hand that activated automatically, and that's how he won.
That's
I
so-
fucking
will,
hilarious.
guys. Tech King's idea is brilliant about setting up a dual city, but if we tried to bring Pokemon to life, like the whole animal fighting
Oh
law,
yeah, no, I couldn't. I could never.
but even so, I have to vote for Pokemon in terms of nostalgia.
I could never send my Espeon or my Raichu into actual combat. I'd feel like a piece of shit, dude.
I went through this once trying to figure out like which evolution you would want to own, and they're all horrible because Jolteon is spiky, Flareon would light your house on fire, Vaporeon would get everything wet, Leafeon would die in the winter if you didn't keep it properly warm.
Yeah,
Glaceon would
Nah, for me,
And
Umbreon's my favorite EV.
Espeon.
Umbreon poison from his skin.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I would hug it.
If you have
I
a
feel like he
Pokemon,
can
you're gonna
turn
hug
it off.
You're saying you wouldn't live with Mina Ashido?
I mean, I'd rather
make
just
good
have
points.
a dual spirit. Like
I
could
like-
live with any of
Dude,
the-
I already have the Ojamas.
I wonder what deck I would play in the anime, and also what Pokemon I would use in the anime.
You'd use Greninja.
Greninja.
I would use Greninja. You're right.
No, I would use Shedinja, and I would just hold him up and just suck out everybody's soul around me. That's what I would do.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
good old Pokedex entries.
The one thing about Pokemon that doesn't make sense is that all the psychic Pokemon could just rule the whole world.
Yeah.
Like,
All the
It's like
do that too.
Alakazam has an IQ of 3,000.
Well,
I
let's
know.
not
Listen,
not say
10-year-old
Pokemon
kid.
loses because it doesn't make sense. Yu-Gi-Oh makes no sense. Like there
I-
are no viable decks in any anime ever played, not one time, dude.
Especially Yugi's.
Yeah.
And the hard
Every
to card
first
shit,
turn.
man.
There was a point where every single one of Yugi's first turns was polymerization. I've used Baphomet in the King of Beasts.
Yeah.
Summon the flying mythical beast.
so you're the
He
fucking
wasted like half his hands to summon this loser card. And it's like,
Dude.
oh, and fusions can't attack on the first turn or something.
Yeah, for no
All that
reason.
shit about trusting in your deck, man. Oh,
You're telling me Joey's
you don't have
deck.
the hard the cards.
hard.
Joey's
to
deck
this day,
sucks,
when I play
too.
poker, when I like pick up cards,
Joey
or, like,
started every single
like that.
duel in Battle City. I summon Alligator Sword. every single.
Hey, this mighty lizard guy can cut you up. There is on the cards of the actual alligator sword. It's written like Joey
Yeah.
would have been saying it. Yeah, it's hilarious.
He also ran Insect Queen in his deck for no reason. Like because he won it from
Because he
Weevil.
won
He's
it.
like why don't I just run it? Because it has 2,800 attack points.
It
Now
has
Jinzo was a
2,200
good
attack.
card to run.
2,200.
2200.
Level 7, 2,200.
Can't even use it. Oh, my favorite is that when he won Fortress Well from Mako, Mako didn't give him the ritual spell, so he couldn't even. He probably would have put that in. He probably has Fortress Well in his deck. He can't even summon it.
That'd be really funny.
No, see, the thing is, though, I love about Joey, and I still put some of these cards in my deck, are cards that involve coin flips or dice rolls, because they're so much fun. It's like, yeah, they're stupid if you put them in a competitive setting. That's horrible. But it's like, what if I did do this in a competitive setting and I managed to win? That would be great. Let's just
One
keep-
thing that I heard of that so I was watching this one person who makes Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and he was talking about like different like formats and stuff, and the pinned comment was that this guy said that he and his friends had been doing something. They play a thing called Mudball Man format, where the only legal extra deck cards are Elemental Hero Mudball Man, and the only way to end the game is by so the only way to win is by dealing battle damage with Elemental Hero Neo Bubble Man. Not Bubble Man, Neo Bubble Man. It sounds really fun.
Sounds like the Isn't Neo Bubbleman like a level 5 fusion with like 1200?
No, Neo Bubbleman is a level 4 effect monster with the same stats as Bubbleman that you have to discard Metamorphosis and Bubbleman to summon him.
Right. And Mudball Man, that's the thing with like 1200 attack and 3000.
It has 3000 defense, yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Mudball Man was one of those McDonald's exclusives that I remembered getting.
Yeah.
And I always thought he was such a cool card. But no one ever talks about him. I need to do this format. This sounds like my
We could have a Mudball Man format tournament.
Swag, we need to do it. Come on. You and I can do this. We can make this work.
And then next week, we'll be having a Pokemon tournament where we can only use Ratatas and Zigzagoons.
Okay, we need to think of a Pokemon format where only... like we have ridiculous rules where only X is legal or whatever.
One card has to be part of that in some way.
Wait, what?
Shedinja's Wonder Guard has to be part of that in some way.
All right, sure, that's fine.
Dittos fighting other Dittos.
Yeah, like something like that. That would be fun.
Okay. So
In just 2 more turns, Kaba, my satellite cannon will have fully charged, and you will lose this duel.
What was his name? What was his
name? Was
name?
Lecter.
That guy.
Lecter.
My satellite cannon.
Guys,
That's when Tristan's brain was put in a monkey.
Kaiba gets this trap card, and then it like fucking explodes, and then he's just like, "There's only one monster in the game that reacts to trap cards this way." And then Lecter takes off this jacket, and he's like, "That's right, Kaiba boy. My deck master is so."
Once I activate my trap card, the South shall rise again.
Wait. Hold on. He was running fucking Solemn Wishes in his deck, which is a trap card. Solemn Wishes is a trap card, and it is continuous. How did he activate Solemn Wishes?
Because he's Lecter. He's from the South. He wins.
Guys, I'm going to have to go soon, so if we can...
All right. Yeah, we should pick winner, I guess.
I'm voting for Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as the Pokemon.
That's totally cool, too. But I say we vote now to make sure that I don't end up having to go before we vote.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. I'm going to have to vote Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as I like Pokemon.
Someone mentioned in the chat, you're only able to use Wobbuffet.
My God, that would be so good.
That sounds pretty funny.
Wobbuffet. I have Wobbuffet somewhere around here.
Between Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon, I was pretty much satisfied with any of them winning.
Yeah, but this is brutal. Like, for me, anime-wise, I would go Yu-Gi-Oh! But, like, the package deal, if you include...
Well, I mean, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game's way better than the Pokemon game. Like, in regards to cards. But then the Pokemon games all have, like...
See, a bunch of people would fight you about the Pokemon TCG being better. Like, all of the people at my locals are like, no, Pokemon's better. I'm like, no. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a...
Yeah, this is not a... comparison.
We didn't even get into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games beyond just Duel Links.
Did any of you play the Falsebound Kingdom?
That's the only one I haven't played.
It is a great game. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Final Fantasy, but it's also like a fucking tactic-based game. It's pretty great. But anyway, so who's everybody voting for? I'm voting for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
God damn it! I guess I'll vote for. I'm just indecisive here. I don't know what I want to vote for. They both like impacted me so much.
I'm gonna vote Pokemon so Briggs has the final vote, and I don't have to deal with it.
What the fuck? I was gonna do that too. Damn it! I feel like more like I was involved more in Pokemon, but I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Still had more of an impact on me.
We will have our weeb cards revoked if we say fucking Pokemon was the anime we have the most nostalgia with.
I mean, it's fair, man.
The
it's
most
like
American-ass anime. No, I know. It's fair. I totally understand. I just think it's really funny.
Because I'm taking into account the video games, though.
To be fair, at this point, I don't know.
I think I'm going to vote for Yu-Gi-Oh!
more in this stream than I think I've talked about it in years.
Yeah.
I love this
stream. This was a lot of fun.
Swag, there's not that many people that are in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as you are. Thank you.
So guys, I'm going to end it all. I'm going to vote for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes!
Yu-Gi-Oh! wins! Yu-Gi-Oh! wins.
Fair enough. Pokemon would be my preference, but Yu-Gi-Oh! would be probably second. Like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh! are the top 3, so it's all good. It's all good.
All right. Now let's duel.
It's time to duel.
Let's get serious.
Let's have a 5-way. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Remember when Kaiba fucking tributed Obelisk to summon Blue Eyes because
I
he
just
saw into the future?
Yeah.
Somebody posted that on Facebook of all things, and I watched it there. That was really good. Yeah.
So guys, I'm gonna have to dip out because we started late, so I've made some plans for when we usually finish.
That's fine. No need to worry.
But just want to say, make sure that Nux does my outro when it finishes. And by all means, guys, by all means, continue the discussion. Love you all.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Everyone in
Same
the
here, man.
Some of
Bye,
you
man.
are insane, but some of you were cool. And I'll see you guys next time, dudes.
Later, man.
I
Bang.
have a feeling I know who he was talking about when he was saying insane. I have a sneaking suspicion he was talking about yours truly.
Oh, you sure? Because when we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh back there, I was like,
Yeah, I was kind of freaking
you
out about you. I
fangirl hard.
love
That was
Yu-Gi-Oh,
amazing.
dude.
Because
I am the biggest.
I'm actually working on a video on Chaz, which is why it's
Chaz is so great. I love him so
I'm so-
much. He's so ridiculous.
Alexis more. I miss Alexis. She's so hot.
Oh, can we talk about the fucking? I think his name is Axel. The very
Axel
offensive
Brody?
black
Is he the
stereotype. with
volcanic
a
guy?
gun dual disc. Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy also. But he was
You know what I-
played Volcanic.
he was great though.
Yeah, he was great,
No, the
but
crocodile Jim Cook was way better. And he also
Okay, come on,
he used the
Come
deck
on,
that didn't exist. It was like
Bobby.
I summoned my fossil raptor and my fossil other raptor.
And my raptor fossil.
And he has an alligator on his back. Like what?
Oh, named Karen, I believe. That was a good one. I never
I'm
watched season 4 of GX because they never dubbed it. I never got around to watching it. I need to watch
no,
it.
it was crazy.
Yeah, no, I know, it's
GX
insane.
4 is wild.
Yeah, I also I finished GX with the whole Ubel thing. I never got past it.
Yeah. No,
I'm
they
so glad.
ended in the dub on like just this really bad cliffhanger where like everybody's dead and you're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think it was the season 3 finale proper. I think it was just some random episode in the middle of it, wasn't it?
Well, it was just
Yeah.
because 5Ds was coming out and they were just like, we have to dub it. Like we can't be behind.
To be fair, GX had some really good arcs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
It has some really shit arcs though. The beginning, like where it's just filler basically.
Yeah, that was
hard to get through.
It was
the student, everybody getting to know each other, and then the Society of Light. I think if you just trim that down to like 10 episodes, it'd be cool. But there's so much filler gunking
Dude,
it up.
I didn't really like the Society of Light. I loved the school duels, the dual school, the school.
the dual schools, the dual school, right? Yeah,
Whatever,
The
those
dual-
guys.
When Jesse was like, and now I have 7 crystal beasts on my field and in my graveyard.
And I
so
know that
summoned
Rainbow Dragon.
Almighty Rainbow Dragon.
Just like flipping out, and he doesn't.
Oh,
even
God.
get it.
He's like,
You
I don't
do-
have it.
You do that accent. Are you from the South? You do that accent way too goddamn well.
I am from the south.
All right, yeah, that's such a good. My God, I love all the different accents they
Nah.
gave characters.
It
It's
was
hilarious.
hard for me to get into GX and 5Ds, like having like Yugi being so much like part of my childhood. It was
No, I
hard for me to
understand.
accept any main character other than him.
Yugi's such a good main character. I
He
mean,
is.
maybe for a kid show. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like he's shit in retrospect because it's like, man, he just cheated. He just cheated.
He did.
also-
He did. Yeah.
He also almost let Kaiba kill himself.
Yep. Because if you break it down, you know, Yami or Atem helped him in like every single duel. I'm just like,
Well,
that's
Well, that's
Yeah.
why I liked the ending. It's like it showed that he like became an Unreal Duelist by the end, even though he relied on Yami a lot in the beginning.
Yami
She-
clearly sucks. He lost with all 3 Egyptian gods on the field, dude.
Yeah, clearly. GX actually got me back into Yu-Gi-Oh because I remember like near the end, because like I didn't watch much of Millennium World. Because I was getting older and it didn't do the same thing. It
Millennium
didn't
World
really-
was really good, dude. Bakura coming back. I
know.
was so hyped.
I stopped at the worst part. It was like I think I stopped midway through the Waking the Dragons. I didn't watch the Grand Prix
Waking
at
the
all.
Dragon sucked.
It was a
Waking-
filler. Yeah. That was just where I ended up stopping, and I never watched until the end of the,
I
the
will
final
summon
duel.
the Orichalcumos.
Oh, Chit Leviathan, heal my choir, the choir dots.
Did you guys ever watch the fuck? It was I think it was the season after Waking the Dragons with like the weird tournaments and stuff. Like there was the fucking Valkyrie guy, and then there was Golden Castle of Stromberg being stupid.
That's a real card now.
And Kaiba
But
somehow
yes,
had
but
a
it's-
Chaos Emperor Dragon.
Yeah.
I love that. It was like Kaiba's like, you hacked into the mainframe and created this card, or you made this card legal all of a sudden. Like, imagine you're at Worlds and you throw down pot of greed or something. It's like, you can't do that. It's like, yes, because I hacked into Konami's website and I changed
that's no. We will veto that.
Imagine running a competitive tournament and then being like, "I'll kill myself."
You're in the middle of a duel and you get up and I don't know, what would you do? Like, take out a gun. Well, I don't want to get demonetized, but you take it. You're like, yeah.
You know what's hilarious when you watch the dub version or the 4Kids version? They're holding their fingers at people.
Oh, yeah, so good.
Because
the Yu-Gi-Oh manga is nuts. It's complete.
Mr. Pegasus would like your undivided attention right now. Oh man, early Yu-Gi-Oh was so fucking awesome.
It was great. I'm sad that Naruto lost, but it lost to Dragon Ball, so I can't be upset about that.
I would have been satisfied with Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon winning. Those three were like my top.
Let me ask you the question, Swag. I'm sure you get asked a bajillion times in every video. Who's your favorite Naruto character?
Probably Sasuke.
Okay.
And with that, I think it's a good place to end this game.
Everybody hates Sasuke, but I like him.
I don't hate him. I
realized.
I say most people don't hate Sasuke; they just don't love Sasuke.
Yeah,
I think I hate how people react to Sasuke, like how Naruto and Sakura still like loved him despite him being an asshole.
But he can't help that, dude. He just wants to be by himself.
Well, that's what I realized. I always used to rip on Sasuke, right? And like he had every right to be an edgy person because his entire family got massacred. So I'd always rip. Like I didn't like Sasuke, but what I realized. It's not that I didn't like Sasuke. I didn't like the way everyone else treated him. If someone's being an asshole,
so it's the fandom that ruined it for you. You're saying.
I feel like
Sakura.
And with that said, go watch now. Go play Undertale.
Hey everybody, I'm Sans Undertale.
It's a great accent. Whatever.
I can do it. I can do a Scottish accent, kind of. Okay, I should start doing videos like that.
Yes.
Well. Luffy, what are you doing, you daft bastard?
Well, anyway, this was fun. Thanks for having me on. Sorry for making this nostalgia stream a Yu-Gi-Oh stream, but
it's so good.
Thank you.
This stream was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Glad.
So that on the docket. We need to do the Mudball Man tournament. We need to
absolutely.
We need to section off
format.
Part of Manhattan at some point in the future and do Battle City for real.
Yes.
Well, see, in the anime, they didn't even section anything up. They just had people walking around looking for opponents.
Yeah. We're gonna have to take a little bit more because there was a lot of cheating in Battle City. A bunch of people cheated. The one
people were mugging people.
Yeah, the one guy with binoculars on the roof looking at the guy.
He was like, "I have ESP."
We are going to police this rather well. We're going to have duelist officials everywhere. You know?
Well, I mean, in an actual tournament, you can call a judge. So we'd probably just give everybody a smartwatch with a judge button.
Yeah, make that part of the duel disc, like the call button or whatever.
Yeah. No, we need like once it gets to later rounds, we need announcers, like official referees on both sides.
Well, no, on the later.
We're gonna have a blimp, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blimp, and it's gonna be broadcast, dude.
It's gonna be bigger than KSI versus Logan Paul.
Like the mega.
Nothing on this. Just wait. Right before the finals, we're gonna have this whole virtual reality thing.
My mom was freaking out over that Mega Millions last week. Like $1 billion was in the lottery, and I'm like, "What are you gonna do with $1 billion?" And I'm like, "I just realized what you could do with $1 billion."
There we go.
You could probably do more than that with $1 billion. The issue with that is it would take time. $1 billion can't buy technological advances.
I played the lottery one, and it was like 600 million versus $1 billion. I'm like, what's the difference at that point? It doesn't even matter.
Okay, you're telling me if Bill Gates calls up Konami right now and says you can take as much money as you want, make this shit happen, click. That wouldn't.
Okay, you're right. It would probably go down. The issue is Konami would have to chip all the cards. So all your current cards would be worthless.
That only takes a few billion. They'll be fine.
Right, but not on the behalf of the consumers. Everybody would have to buy new cards.
We'll have giant ships just dropping booster packs. This works somehow.
Yeah, and whoever wins gets their opponent's rarest card.
Yeah.
How about that? I don't think anybody would enter it in that case.
No, what was the grand prize for Battle City? Because I don't think what was it? I don't
No,
think it
the
was.
whole point is you get everyone else rarest cards. Basically, whoever wins gets all the gods.
Have it be a cash reward in ours.
I'd be down for the card thing. That's awesome. Like, have you guys ever done that? Play for a card?
No, I've never anteed. No, I've never done that.
I used to do that all the time when I was a kid. I guess that's how I know I was into gambling before I even had money.
Oh, when
So
I was
the
a kid,
thing
I
is,
did it.
I
and
used to
beat
play
people all the
poker,
time.
and instead of poker chips, I would use Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's
How,
unreal.
Like, I'll raise you 20 spell cards.
That's great. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh was banned in my elementary school. I remember when the principal got on the intercom, like, Yu-Gi-Oh cards are no longer allowed to be brought into school. I'm like, shit.
And then everyone
Dude,
brings them
that
anyway.
shit was actually like just it had such a bad stigma in school and just like with adults and stuff, and I don't know why.
You know why? It was because they always just went back to it's gambling. That's how it always went back. Yeah, it's you're trading cards and shit. It's gambling. Yeah, that was the excuse they always use. Same thing for Pokemon.
Yeah,
you know,
that sucks. I got a lot of people's cards though. I remember I forget what the guy anteed up, but it was something ridiculous. I mean, it was something really expensive. It was like a Blackluster Soldier or Chaos Emperor Dragon or something.
Whoa.
And we anteed it up, and I anteed it up against my fucking as like a first ed Slifer. And I was like really nervous. I was like, I don't know if I want to go through with this because I want that BLS, but I don't want to give him my Slifer. And then I opened with all 5 pieces of Exodia, and I was like, well, sorry, buddy.
I would have called bullshit. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the pot of greed into it, but yeah. I opened 4 pieces and pot of greed, and I was like, all right.
Great start.
Look, yeah.
I
Well,
seriously
it's either a great start or it's a terrible start. If the last piece is
true.
on the bottom of the deck, you're done.
I seriously want to do a video now where I talk about how a Battle City could happen in real life.
There you
Like,
go.
Well, I would be in. I would fly anywhere.
I would do it
Konami
too.
would have to really work. Well, we could have multiple formats, but Konami would really have to put a lot of thought into the ban list. Otherwise, you'd have a bunch of toxic decks running
Yes,
around.
yes, it would have to be something clever.
Yeah, like ban everything past GX.
Well, no, you could have a format that's like pre-GX.
Everyone running around. How? I activate trap hole. No.
See, the problem is, like, I really didn't.
Maraudering captain.
I dropped the game once I started adding like Pendulum and all. I don't even know what the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I thought they were bad too, and then I started playing Modern Yu-Gi-Oh again, and I was like, you know what? I actually like this a lot.
The only problem was to like play in those tournaments. They'd make you'd have to play with their new decks and new cards. So I just started dropping it. It annoyed me. Like, I have a super cool deck, and then it's like, oh, this is all irrelevant now. Like a year later.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I mean, it's just how card games and like business works. They have to make cards that are better than the old cards, or else nobody will buy the new sets.
Exactly, because then I would have just stuck with my Relinquish deck that I used when I was like 12.
Like, perfect example of this. I was at my friend's house the other night, and he has a bunch of these new Yu-Gi-Oh decks, and he's like, "Oh, here, you have one." And I was like, a Pendulum, and I'm sitting there. I know how pendulums work, but I'm reading them, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't know." There's so much text on these cards, and it just kind of fell apart after that. But I think links are all right.
Links are pretty cool. I like the whole arrow gimmick. A lot of people don't, but I think that it's a cool idea.
It did mess me up that they changed the format of the board, like altogether.
Yeah.
Like the extra zones are now in the middle, and they like point to various,
Oh yeah, that's one thing that you may not like, Briggs. I don't know if you're familiar with it now, but unless you use links, you can only have one extra deck monster on the field. So like you get like a zone for fusions and stuff.
I witnessed it all through my brother because I stopped playing it when like Pendulum started happening, and then my brother continued to play, and he would show me all this stuff. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I'm not going to spend this much money on something I'm not as into anymore.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that completely. Something else I hate.
We have a versus question in the chat. Kurama versus Zork.
Ooh.
I don't fucking know, dude. Zork's like
Zork's like a devil.
The big demon guy with a dragon dick.
He beat the shit out of Exodia. I mean, come on.
That did actually happen. I was like, how the fuck did he do that?
Because he takes his power from the old Yugi's grandpa, and he's old and decrepit, and he can't maintain it. But I'm like, why do you... Yugi! Fetch my Viagra, Yugi!
This was a great stream. I had a great time.
This was such a fun stream.
Thank you all.
Yeah, I agree. No problem. Thanks for having me.
I want to thank you for having the Yu-Gi-Oh stream. That was such great.
Link to everyone is in the description. Also link to
Appreciate it.
Animax Twitch and link to the Rant Cafe exclusive channel. Anyone have
Anyway,
anything
I'm
they'd
gonna
like
get
to
out of
say?
here. It's been fun, but hope to come on some other time. I know I'm very rarely here, but make sure to check everybody out who's in the stream. Check me out if you're interested. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already know who I am, though. I don't need to plug my stuff.
I actually hit 50,000 subscribers today, so I dropped a video if you guys want to check it out.
Congrats.
Thanks, bro.
Slowly gating up the ladder. You'll be up here in no time. It doesn't take very long.
Nah, really.
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you hit,
Once you hit
10K, and then
10K.
50.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
you hit a stride. Yeah, you do. Like it took
I
me
think
like
I
6
upload.
years. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that all said, remember to stay weird, fam.